imagine how we mellow out as moms when our kids get grown.
I know. I know. My daughter probably back in the day was just like, you will A, are nosy and B, uptight. And now she's just like, you're still nosy and sometimes you're uptight, but I like you more. At least I think she.
Yeah, but now that I'm an adult and you're not telling me what to do on a day-to-day basis because I'm away at school.
Yeah, psychic or not, I agree. I agree. I'm
Yeah.
even in my own self, not seeing it coming, or my other least favorite, not paying attention to it coming.
That's always a good one. I like that one. Or the other one that I'm really good at, like second guessing myself. Like,
Oh, yeah.
because I'm like, I'll get a feeling, I'll get that sense, I'll get that, and I'm like, no, no. And then something happens, I'm like, oh yeah. I was like, you know,
Yeah, that one as well, for sure.
that one. Or you get introduced to a group of new people or something. Somebody's like, oh my gosh, I love so and so, blah, blah, blah. And you meet so and so, and you're like, oh, okay. And you got to be careful that your face doesn't talk in its outdoor voice. And because you're like, everybody loves this person. And you immediately are like, oh, okay.
And oh my gosh, and then it takes years for like whatever the underbelly of that beast to get like uncovered, and then like you don't want to sit back over there going, "Told you so," but
Yeah.
I told you so. I told you she.
Yeah.
Or
I told you she wasn't a good human.
no, you're telling yourself, you're just like, why didn't I listen? I knew this. Red flag, red flag, red flag, tiny green flag, red flag.
Oh my God, right? There's so many things that happen in life with like red flags and then it's kind of crazy because I know we've talked about it and, our friend circles have changed and sometimes because I always like to say, friendships are like a reason, a season, or a lifetime, and it just kind of depends. And then there are some where you go through a season and they're part of your life and then you kind of fall away from each other and then you kind of reconnect and you're like, oh, okay, this works. And and that's one of the things that's really difficult or challenging is in midlife to like meet people, because I know you moved, I can't remember how many years ago now, but you moved from California for
Oh no, I thought you meant from my other town. From California to Texas, I moved 12 years ago, 13 years ago, something like that.
Oh God, has it been that long?
It's been more than a decade, yeah. And then after my graduated high school, then we left like the town that we lived in, and it was like a very popular, populated area, and we moved out to a rural town 2 hours away and kind of had to like make friends again. But then now like some things have happened and I have zero friends in this town, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But Denise and I have discussed this a long time ago, because we've been friends, we've been friends like almost a decade. I think like 8 plus.
It has been. Well, when you said I'm thinking, honest to God, Cynthia, I thought it was like maybe 6, 7 years ago. I'm like, oh my God, we have known each other that long. Holy crap.
Yeah. But so Denise and I met a long time ago and kind of in the Instagram world. And we were kind of all in this little clique together. And everybody in the clique got along really well and, highlighted some of each other's, strengths with the stuff that we do. And everything seemed to be kind of hunky dory, but there were some red flags, but everybody just vibed really well. But then on the side, like, we kind of would message each other going, did you think that was weird? Yeah, I thought it was weird. Do you think what she meant by this when she said blah, blah, blah? Yeah, I don't know why she said that. So there was like some things like that. Then COVID hit and like, I don't know what happened, but it just kind of exposed everybody. And I got like blacklisted as a racist and I don't know, like a whole bunch of other things. And somebody called me, I can't remember, what did she call me? Something like a good old boy lover or something like that. Like,
oh God, I can't remember, but yeah, something remember.
yeah,
the good old boys club. You love the good old boys club, something
like good old boys club or something like that, because I live in Texas and I'm married to a very Southern gentleman. Like my husband is the epitome of a Texan. And so she was appalled by that. And in her diatribe of trying to belittle me, then she insulted my husband and his roots and called him a clan member.
Oh my God, dude, where is this even coming
Oh
from?
my gosh, it was awful. I'm just like, oh my God. Mind you, this woman is white.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh,
And so Denise and I didn't tell anybody like that this was
no.
happening. I just kind of extracted myself and disappeared
Yeah.
and took my Instagram page and just like, I don't know, like not really shut it down, but I wasn't.
You weren't as out there as you used to be. And I think I messaged you and I'm like, what is going on my name? What is happening?
Yeah, because then I was like, oh no, I'm fine. And because I didn't want to share what had happened because we were all in the circle together.
Of course, my spidey senses go off and I'm like, well, that was a lie.
Yeah, it was a total lie. And Denise hears kind of like some like smack talk about me and then comes back to me and goes, it's happening because you're telling the truth. And I was just like, oh no, it's fine. It's okay. And it took us meeting in person in Phoenix for me just to like that vibe, like we were just right there in each other's presence and you were like right in my face. You're like, what really happened? And I was like, well, just like diarrhea in the mouth. Like,
because this you're telling me everything's okay and fine. I'm not buying that story.
yeah. Yeah. And it wasn't just like one person. It was like they all kind of grabbed pitchforks and then came at me. And then when I told Denise what had happened, she was just like, you would never. And I was like, I know, nor did I. But I'm being accused of saying and behaving a certain way. And that's why I've extracted myself. And so out of this circle of ladies, Denise was one that stuck. And then I have like two others that came to my rescue and just like, we know the real you. We know that you would never, ever say some of these things, behave that way. Why would these ladies start saying that? And I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know where it came from, but I'm taking myself out of the scene. And so it was a perfect example of like something bad happening and then your true friends showing up for you. So, Denise showing up and us being as close as we are. I have another friend as well. She showed up and was just like, I don't know, because she lived in Texas as well. So at the time, so we were able to see each other and just kind of like have that bond and me kind of like, I don't know, be the salve to the wound, just like.
Yeah. Well, because I think one of the things that we don't realize in midlife, because we also have, at least I kind of sometimes blindly thought that as we get to be adults, we're just who we are. And, if you are true to who you are, then people are going to like you or not. And we start go through this tiny part of wanting other people to like us for a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm kind of a little bit over that now. I'm kind of like, here's the upside of turning 60 and being a little bit older. You're like, yeah, F it. I'm just like, you either like me or you don't. And the reality of it is multiple times I've actually had to even say to myself, I don't like everybody. It doesn't mean I'm going to be disrespectful. It doesn't mean I'm going to be rude or anything of that nature. It just means I'm not going to go sit down and have a meal with you.
Yeah, no, I'll be polite, but I'm with you. I'm not gonna put on the facade and the fake smile anymore. I got a new phone number last year and nobody has my number. I have family members that don't have my number because I don't want to be troubled with drama. I don't want whatever, I don't know, judgment. And it seems like you said, like we get older and we think the relationships, the friendships are going to stay or they're going to be better because we're more mature. We're going to behave more mature. The people that interact with us will be more mature. And that is simply not the case. Junior high and high school perpetuates into your, later years.
Well, I mean, kind of to your point, because like the term that I hear being thrown around now is cougar puberty.
Yeah.
And there's so much truth to that because it's like, as we get to midlife again, it's almost like all of that angst from junior high comes back in. And it is kind of that weird in between where we're like, am I grown? Am I not grown? Like, what the is going on here? Because it's like, I had people that were like, so-and-so doesn't like you, blah, 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 blah. And I had like no idea. Like, quite honestly, I had no idea. And, and after my divorce, I didn't look like Barbie. I was kind of cute and, because, got the divorce weight off and all that kind of stuff. So I am going to say I was pretty attractive. But my heart was still my heart. I'm still a kind person. Just because I look like this doesn't mean I turn into a rotten human being. And yet people were like, well, so and so, well, because you look like that, well, you must be a bitch, right? And I'm like, oh, wow, really? That's where we're going? And, so
That's, I don't know, the stigma, I guess.
yeah, you know, and you know, and when you start to look at those kinds of things and you start to recognize and kind of and that wasn't that you didn't have the same experience, but they're similar from the standpoint that all of a sudden you've been ganged up on by women, and then that tells your subconscious women aren't safe. And then so that like, and I know I've done this and I have been struggling with my weight for a long time. Part of it's menopause, part of it was perimenopause, part of it was menopause, but it's also energetic protection. Like your body physically will be like, no, I don't care what you do. You could run a blooping marathon and we are not letting go of this, because you have to get okay with being safe again.
Yes.
And because you didn't feel safe because, you got drugged through whatever